Well, ladies and gents, interesting turn of events. Former Disney CEO Bob Chapek allegedly and reportedly cooked the books to hide Disney Plus financial loss. Now, this isn't a video in support of Iger. I think Bob Chapek and Iger are, in fact, two cheeks of the same arse. They're not particularly great people. Iger had actually set up all of the stuff that led to the current downfall of Disney with respect to... And you'll see, actually, they've quite a huge loss, in fact. But that was all Iger's baby. And Iger had established it. Chapek just continued it. And some of this stuff you wouldn't have been able to double back on either, because some of these things are years in development. But it's interesting nonetheless, so let's take a look. Before we do, ladies and gents, please do check out a link to my second channel, Mr. Reviews Live Archives. Streaming again, really interesting conversations with interesting people, and you'll find clips as well as full stream episodes up on that channel, which you can find linked down below in the description box. So anyway, let's go. According to a new report, a recently ousted Disney CEO Bob Chapek is alleged to have engaged in a series of deceptive accounting practices in order to hide just how much money the company has truly lost in service of developing their signature streaming service. Which does make sense. I mean, you know, they are beholden to investors and the board, so hiding this stuff when you know the losses are so monumental, I can see the motivation anyway. Let's put it that way. So as per a collective decision by the House of Mouse's board of directors following his poor showing during the company's disastrous Q4 earnings call, Chapek was removed as Disney CEO on November 20th, a move which just shocked everyone. Everyone's like, what? Having served in the position for only 2 years, in his place, much to everyone's surprise, the board chose to reinstate former CEO Bob Iger. The statement read on that day anyway, the board has concluded that as Disney embarks on an increasingly complex period of industry transformation, Bob Iger is uniquely situated to lead the company through this pivotal period. We thank Bob Chapek for his service to Disney over his long career, including navigating the company through the unprecedented challenges of the pandemic. So there was that. Though word on the exact reasons for the board's loss of confidence in Chapek have not been publicly detailed, many have speculated that it was related to his abysmal handling of the Florida Parental Rights in Education Act debacle. But that's like just ideological stance versus business stance, and then he sort of flip-flopped, and it was like a bad PR for Disney. But they shouldn't have got involved in the first place. They're a business. Between turning Disney into a full-on political entity, constantly flip-flopping on which side of the debate he truly supported, and basing his movies on the ever-evolving whims of Twitter's trending topic tab, which isn't the case. This article was wrong. Those movies would have been in place, in development and approved before Chapek even, took over as CEO. And that's important to note. But anyway, Chapek's ineffective and indecisive leadership during this period has since drawn widespread criticism and mockery from across the political spectrum. And that is true. I mean, it is. The thing is he should never get involved in politics. He's just a business. But whatever. And that's why he's been lambasted by basically everyone. Because he just flip-flops. Because he's very clearly a businessman. He very clearly understands business. And then starts getting involved in politics because he feels like he should, because that supports the business. Then realises that maybe he shouldn't. Then backtracks. And it's just a weird flip-flop. But anyway, it seems that Chapek's wild ride in Florida was not the sole reason for his removal, as the former CEO is also said to have been actively deceiving its investors. So during the company's Investor Day 2020 presentation, Chapek assured those in attendance that the company expected Disney Plus to achieve profitability in fiscal 2024. So, 2024, year and a bit basically. However, as per insiders who supposedly spoke to the Wall Street Journal, this is a near impossible goal to achieve due to the fact that the company has, in reality, lost more than $8.5 billion since Disney Plus launched and has posted bigger operating losses in each of the post 4 quarters. What the hell? Major money going down the drain. Further, in order to keep the warning signs from blaring, Chapek allegedly took to airing some Disney Plus originals, such as the mysterious Benedict Society and Doogie whatever, on the company's other networks. So basically to say, well, Disney Plus isn't the sole reason why the budget for them were actually not from Disney Plus, basically is what they were trying to say. So in doing so, Chapek could then list the given series budget on the respective network accounting sheets, thus making Disney Plus look more profitable than it truly was, even though they were actually Disney Plus originals, because they aired over elsewhere. Sure, then no worries, we'll put the budget elsewhere instead. Just garbage. Now, the pitfall is said to have been the result of Chapek's unfettered spending on content, and another subject on which the former Disney executive supposedly deceived investors on. Again, though, just important to note, a lot of this stuff was already in place. So, while speaking at the aforementioned Investor Day 2020, Chapek assured attendees that in light of subscriber growth fueled in part by an increased level of output for Disney Plus, direct quote, the company expected, I quote, our content expenses to be between $8 and $9 billion in 2024. Yet the Wall Street Journal's insiders claim that under Mr. Chapek, and this is really insane, Disney has increased its content spending dramatically to around $30 billion this year alone. $30 billion? What are you doing, man? Are you high? As of writing, neither Disney nor Chapek have offered public comment on the Wall Street Journal's allegations. I mean, that is legitimately insane. So it's in debt, and I understand you need to spend money on this specific thing. You do need to spend money to get money. I understand that. But 30 billion for content? What are you doing? You're insane. That's absolute madness. Like, words fail me. You know, and what... Again, you got to remember, Investor Days, and he's just like, oh yeah, our content expenses could be between 8 and 9 billion. 30. Sorry, what? Where'd you get that number from? Jesus. So, look, there's many a reason as to why he's been fired, but, you know, Iger's still not the saviour. I always stand by that. He's not the saviour. Important to note. But yeah, madness. Madness. Be interesting to see what happens. Let me know down below what you think. Take care.